Hi, I'm Laura, welcome back to the channel. As always, it's been a while since I last filmed. I think it may have only been about a month this time, or might have just been a few weeks. I can't really recall, but I'm hopefully going to be making more content more regularly. I'm actually about to film a batch of videos right now, and talk about why I've been not recording whilst I put on some makeup, because I've got a Project Pan video coming up, which will hopefully be next. So basically, I've had a lot of like internal conflict about what I want to do with my channel. I've spoken about this many times, about the channel being, you know, originally about beauty and makeup, and how like I want to still do stuff like that. I want to integrate it, but I also want to talk about more sort of higher level things. I don't know. We can have... I don't feel like I can just be the mind-numbing place that people go to on the internet. I'm just not that person. I'm not that chill. I'm sorry guys, I'm just not that chill. I'm high key all the time. I really am. So, oh, there's the other. I've been very much caught between, you know, what kind of content I want to produce, how I want to produce it, how I want to go along, how I want to go about breaking down the content I want to share, format, like how I want the videos to be, and then of course there's the ever looming cloud of perfectionism. Oh, it needs to be this certain way, it needs to be that certain way, and I forgot that primer was so... it makes your skin so smooth that you can't open a blooming concealer afterwards. Oh my god, I really can't get that open, what on earth? I had it open like the other night. Well, I guess I won't be using this concealer then, because I can't get it open. Oh well. It's not the end of the world, it's not the end of the world, it'll be alright. I'll just use this foundation as a concealer. Actually, you know what, I'll just use this foundation as foundation. We'll see how it goes, because this is actually one of my Project Pan items. Been a long time since I've used it. So yeah, there's been a lot of internal conflict about what I want to do, how I want to go about it, and then the perfectionism just, you know, making a mockery of myself, basically. And I know you guys would rather have any content than no content, and I am certainly about that same mindset. I would rather produce any content than no content, because ultimately I do want to get this channel back to the point where it is an income source, because it used to be one. It used to be one when I was like on the cusp of, I don't want to say influencer because I was never really an influencer, but my channel views were getting to a point where it was generating money to potentially become an income stream. It was like making a $5 a day or something. Obviously it would need to make more than that to be an income stream, but once you get to the point where it's making a $5 a day, it's easier to like build upon that and snowball it into something more financially supportive. And then there was the kicker, and I'm only going to mention this briefly, and I don't want to discuss it too much because I know it's a divisive topic. Ultimately, the death of Charlie Kirk early in September, it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would, and everything I've tried to do in the weeks following has just seemed pointless. Not in the, like what I said before, like, you know, feeling like a spot on a big planet in a big wide universe, sort of useless, but like I wasn't providing value, like it was unimportant. And I did get a really wonderful comment on that last video, putting the flip mindset on what does it matter what I do, instead of being, oh, what's it matter what I do, it doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter, what's it matter what I do? Putting that sort of mindset onto it but also I want what I do to have an impact. I want what I do to serve a purpose. I want it to be meaningful. And with everything that's going on right now in the country, whether or not you are supporting one side or the other, whichever stance you take, whichever area you think the problem is, ultimately the cause of most of the problems in our country is moral degeneracy. Okay, people don't take pride in their... It starts with not taking pride in your appearance. It's not taking pride in your work, not taking pride in your relationships, not taking pride in how you present yourself in the world, how you talk to other people, and your behaviour. And it starts with, you know, I am who I am, accept me who I am, the way I am type mentalities, and it just kind of snowballs into, you get this entitlement mentalities where people think that they can just, you know, jab someone that looks at them the wrong way, or use the public streets as a toilet, or think they can just rip something out of someone's hand because they want it. And I honestly feel like we as a society do need to take a good hard look at ourselves and how we as individuals show up in the world, and all the small differences and changes that we can personally make to make everything a better place. And that took a spiral a lot quicker than I thought it would. But we do need to start policing ourselves and those around us. And I don't mean like what happened during COVID where people were going on a power trip. I mean, like, if you see someone jumping the queue at the bus stop, tell them that they're jumping the queue at the bus stop. You know, these are honor-based systems, particularly here in the UK. I know most of my viewers are here in the UK, but a lot of them are, you know, abroad. But the queuing is like the cornerstone of like British culture. We queue for everything. If there was someone there before you, you stand behind that person and the next person stands behind you, and that's how queues work. First come, first served. Just because you pushed in front of 30 people to get onto the bus, and that has happened, because I called the woman out on it. I feel like, and I called the woman out on it. It's like, just because you squeezed onto the bus before the rest of us doesn't mean the bus is going to leave any faster, you know? And if it's still important for you to be on this bus, you should have made it to the bus stop on time, in plenty of time. So hold people accountable for their own behaviour, hold yourself accountable for your own behaviour. Now, I'm not saying be rude to anyone or be mean to anyone or spiteful, but sometimes people get so absorbed in their own internal lives that they forget other people exist to a certain degree. Almost like, you know, they take the main character energy thing too far, and outside themselves we're all NPCs, you know? And I suppose that's what I want my channel to reflect more of, especially with all of the growth and learning that I've done as a result of the problems and journeys I've gone through in the last 5 years even. But a lot of it does go deeper, and I will talk about those things, like how traumas and things from my childhood that I've worked through, that I finally worked through, particularly like my relationship with things and purchasing and understanding those things. I remember I used to get comments, people talking about my shopping addiction, and I should get help for my shopping addiction and things, which is great. I remember being in denial and being like, I don't have a shopping addiction. I did, you guys. But it wasn't how I perceived a shopping addiction to be. and it was heavily related to growing up in a very lack mindset household. And again, I will talk about that in depth in a future video. And it has completely revolutionised how I live my life now, and my relationship with money, and my relationship with things, and my desire for things, or lack of desire for things. But there were certain things that had to happen in order for this result to come. On another note, I did talk very much about, in most of the videos I've released this year, because I don't think I've released that many videos this year. I think definitely less than 10. I want to say maybe 5. I think it could even be less than that, if I'm perfectly honest. But in each of those videos, I've talked about being finally ready to declutter my life. And I did. I've been decluttering like crazy and filming it, because I knew that these were things I was definitely going to share in some capacity. I just don't know where to slot it in. So there are declutter videos coming soon. I decluttered all of the makeup that I keep in these cubbies and the basket of palettes that were under my bed. There's no longer a basket of palettes under my bed because I got rid of that much, that many palettes. It's astounding. And I feel great for it, and I will be decluttering other areas of my life, and I'm reorganising my room and getting things sorted out of my office and working my way through all the things that I own and getting joy out of life, joy out of little things. Life is good. Life is good. Outside of the bad things happening in the world, my internal little world is good. I love my children, I love my partner, I love my little family. I hate my house. I will say that. I hate this house. Like, just, I hate it. I'm grateful for it. It got us out of a situation, and I'm glad I'm not there anymore, but I hate this house. There's no room to move. It's just, oh, even if you were to, like in our old house, right? In our old house, we were always told by the health visitor and things, like, oh, well, if you just got rid of your stuff, just get rid of the stuff, like, declutter your things, get rid of the things you're not using. I'm like, well, we can't get rid of things we're not using, because apart from, like, the books and the DVDs on the wall, pretty much everything is in use all the freaking time. So when we were moving, and we moved all of our, like, items and stuff out of the house, and all that was left was the furnishings, there was still as little room as there would have been if the stuff had been there. It's the same here. If you remove all the stuff and just had the furniture, there would still be as little room. There's just, it's not made for large families. These places just aren't made for large families. Even though they're made in a time when people had larger families, but also it was more acceptable to sleep all your children in one room in one bed. So, give and take with, just lots of give and take there with the opinionising and the judging and the, you know what I mean. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So I know I've mentioned this before as well, but in terms of format for future videos, I want to know what you guys thought of voice overs with sort of vloggy type footage. It could just, some of it could just be like simple things like sitting pairing socks. That was one that I had. It was an, oh my goodness, I can't talk. The pairing socks idea was a concept for a video about just doing the things, not letting small tasks build up. So in abstract it sounds weird, but in the context of that it kind of fits, like having clips of someone folding socks, because that is probably one of the most put off tasks I've ever known. Folding all the socks, pairing them up, putting away all the clothes, doing the little nitty gritty bits, because these jobs need to be done and I probably will still do that video at some point, because it comes under the whole taking pride in your household and taking pride in yourself and your family, doing the small things that need to be done, the thankless tasks. But I did wonder what you guys maybe thought of video formats like that, if I had B-roll footage that correlated with the topic at hand, and then I could make like a compilation, and then we'd have more videos, because I can just record a voiceover, because I have lots of notes of things that I've had thoughts about in the past, like essays, almost blog posts that never ended up getting published, and they're all thoughts and feelings and opinions I still hold, and I've actually built upon and developed further. I pulled out my new mod palette from Sigma. When was the last time you saw someone using this, honestly? Since doing the declutter, I just did it this past weekend. Do you want to come for a cuddle? What? What's wrong? Yeah, is your doll's house there? Oh, do you want me to close the door? Should I close the door? Yeah? Is that what Mummy should do if Mummy's working? You come give Mummy a cuddle? Oh, big boy! Hi, big boy. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mummy's borrowing it. I'm using it. Mummy's just filming a few bitties and bobbies. Is that okay? Oh no, you can't touch that, darling. It's sharp. Let's move that out of the way. Yeah, that's glue. You don't need glue. You can have this though. I don't need that. Do you want that? And look, you can have a little box. You want a box? A box. That's it. That's it. Now you want to go play with your box and see what fun things you can put in it. Come on, I'll take you through to Daddy. But yes, since I did that declutter this past weekend, I have really been wanting to play with my makeup and get into all of my other palettes that I haven't used in so long. Like, oh my god, that's so pretty. That's such a pretty colour. It's the first time I was going to say it's the first time I've worn makeup this month, but it is the 1st of October, so I think it might be the first time I've worn makeup in a month. If that makes sense. I don't think I wore any makeup last month. I intended to, but I never really got round to it. But this is just, oh, this is pretty. So I suppose in making this video I've answered my own question, like what I want my content to be. I want it to be about the betterment of people and fighting against the degeneration of society. About the importance of family life and community, but in a realistic and consumable way. I want to talk about finances and debt and the economy and building our own economy, like becoming self-sufficient and sustainable. But that can come at a later point. I think that's also the big problem. A big problem when it comes to me trying to make content. I want to do it all at once. I also had a moment of acceptance the other day about, in terms of working around my children, working at home, working from home, that kind of thing. And one of the biggest setbacks, pushbacks, hurdles, whatever you want to call it, but the biggest one of those that prevented me from making content was getting it done around the children, finding time around the children to do it, or it would be interrupted, or my mood, or this or that. And I finally accepted that I can't work around the children. I could literally sit there twiddling my thumbs, doing nothing, but the second I start doing something, they want to be involved and they want to help, they're curious, which is fine when it comes to things like baking or cleaning, you know? But when it comes to doing generative, creative things, my attention needs to be on this, and it can't be, here, there, and everywhere. Things that involve keeping hold of a train of thought are very difficult to do with children around. And I don't ever want anyone to misconstrue what I've said, because it's the thing with mums. You can't ever complain about anything to do with motherhood in any capacity, because then why did you have children? It's just an acknowledgement of the situation. It's not a complaint. You can acknowledge things without complaining about them. But for real, doing things around with the kids like this, so hard. So I finally accepted that it's impossible. I finally accepted it's impossible. So I will no longer be trying to do things around the kids. I know that sounds really silly because I've just, had Mikey coming in. But, it's just Mikey just now because the older three are off at school and nursery. If everybody's home, it's an impossibility. Right now, Mikey's playing with a cart with a doll's house in it. He's moving house. I don't know why I went so smoky and dark, but we're here. This is what we're doing. But he'll just flit in and out and it'll be fine. So ideally I will be doing all of my writing at the office, and any filming. I will try and do a lot of the filming, like sort of sit-down-y type filming. I will be doing most of that at the office as well. And any other additional things I will do after they go to sleep. If I have to do any work at home, if I have to do after hours stuff, I suppose you could refer to it as, I will do it after the kids go to sleep, because it's just not worth creating all that stress and tension in the house at all. I think I've got a handle on it, and then I'll think I've found a way to work around it, and I've got this routine sorted, and it's only because the kids haven't acted up yet. And it's not that they act up, but I don't know how to word that I just don't know how to word that, I haven't factored in the kids in heightened states, and as soon as that does occur, everything just falls apart. So finally accepting that it's not worth it, we're not doing it anymore, and for the last 2 days I haven't tried to get work done before the kids get up. I haven't tried to get work done before I leave for the day job. So my camera cut out, and I was basically saying that I've been trying in the mornings not to try and get work done before I leave for the day job, and last 2 mornings I've done that. Everything has gone swimmingly well. Very little yelling or shouting or anything. There was a little bit this morning because, we woke up a bit late, and it was more of a crunch time, we gotta get going type vibe, than oh my god, you're keeping me something that's important to me type vibe. because it's like everything that I'm doing, I don't have to be doing these things. Like, I have a job. I could just carry on doing what everyone else does and like half that went onto the floor. Oops. Like, I have a job. We're on universal credit, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. All of the extra things we have, we do receive benefits for, and you know, I don't have to put this added stress onto my plate. I don't have to. But I also hate this feeling of having to rely on benefits to just have a basic level of living, because I've never had that for my entire life. It was only since moving out with my parents and, you know, starting our own little family that that's occurred, and it's just gotten worse and worse. Like, as I've said before, traditional forms of employment just aren't going to cut it in the future. They're just not. And that's the only reason I've taken on this additional stress. I don't have to. But at the same time, I don't have to. I'm inflicting this stress on my family, which makes me feel bad for it. So if I can do what I can to minimise that stress, awesome. We'll do that. And yeah, I quite like how my makeup turned out. I quite like this eyeshadow palette, and I'm pulling out my L'Oreal lipsticks, and yes, so I have myself a little basket of goodies that I'm going to Project Pan, so I'm gonna film that intro next. And thank you for coming along on this very, very long chatty video, and here are so many more long chatty videos in the future, so I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thank you always for remaining subscribed even when I'm not posting content in any way, shape or form regularly. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.